Hi, Mark here. I was going to do a nice setup shot with my camera on the windscreen tripod mount thing, but the sun is shining directly into the front of the car, and so it looked a bit weird, so I thought I'd just try and hold it. Anyway, I was hoping to do more of these kind of vlog videos during the course of the year, but to be honest, you know, been really busy, tied up with other projects going on. But what I did want to do was some kind of a buyer's guide or some sort of thing that would help people maybe who are looking to buy one of these, for a few things to look for. But in this video, I just wanted to kind of highlight a few faults that have cropped up lately, things that I need to get fixed. For example, I still haven't got my rear windows fixed. If you followed my channel and you've seen the thing on there about the rear window modules, I did try to buy a second-hand module from the UK recently, but the seller didn't get back to me. But anyway, there's no sort of big rush on that. It's only a cosmetic thing, really. I haven't needed to have them down for any specific reason. But apart from that, there's been a few other niggles, so I'm going to flip the camera and we'll just have a little chat about those. Okay, so one majorly annoying thing which has sort of come up is the radio. So when you turn it on, the radio itself all comes on, but there's no sound. So I've heard that a common fault with these is the CD player. These are on a fiber optic connection, and apparently if any link in the chain goes down, then the whole system stops. So I don't know if it's the amplifier or something to do with the head unit there, or the CD player. So obviously I need to get that checked out when I can find someone, you know, a good auto electrician. So there's just nothing coming out from there at the moment. I decided to actually get out of the car and film this because the sun was shining so bright in there. I was just getting a lot of reflection. One of the other faults, which I can't really show you at the moment, it only happens periodically, is quite annoying with the cruise control. What happens is it just turns itself off, and then the display thing comes up and says the sensor needs cleaning. And that happens whether, you know, obviously the car's clean or dirty. So it's obviously, you know, something to do with the sensor itself, some kind of wiring or something, rather than it actually being a problem with it being dirty. So I need to get that on the diagnostic and check that out. And there's something annoying with the fan on the fan motor, which I'll show you. Okay, so the fan motor is periodically being a bit noisy, and it's pretty hard to kind of get some decent light on there. But it looks like there's a little bit of kind of tiny movement and knocking on the fan motor itself. Sorry, on the fan itself, the fan body. I don't know if it will pick this up. You can hear a kind of roughness to it there. Sometimes it's really bad. When I pull up, the thing's still going and it's going dunk 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 as it slows down, which is a bit annoying. I had a garage look at it and they told me it was the motor, which is in here, which I find a bit strange, because obviously if the motor's got a problem, I don't know how it would actually affect that. So maybe there's a bearing or something in the fan that's going, but it's been happening for a year. I kind of ignored it all summer. It stopped, and then I just noticed in the last couple of weeks it's kind of come back. But to be honest, the whole radiator block assembly, all of this lot with the fan motor on there, I don't think that actually, it's not including the radiator, but the fan housing and stuff is only about £200 apparently. So it's pretty good. If I need to change that, but I'll probably just hang there for a bit and see if it gets any worse. There's no point just changing it yet. I'd rather spend the money on something useful like tyres, and there's a service coming soon. So talking of tyres, I decided when I bought the car I was going to put these Goodyear efficient grip tyres on there, which are the kind of modern variation of the original Goodyear that they fitted. So you can see it's got the standard original wheels, it's all standard sizes. I decided not to mess with it because I quite like the ride. I did consider putting different alloys on there, but I decided to stick with these for a bit because I do like the ride quality. I'm going long distances on the car, and this deeper sidewall than the, you know, the real low profile stuff gives you a bit more bump and noise absorption. when you're on a long journey, you know, doing 1,000 miles plus, that does make quite a bit of difference. Okay, so another really irritating thing is there's some kind of resonance coming through the car, and once again, sorry about these camera angle shots. I can't really get out of the sun. I should be grateful really that it's December now, and I don't know what the temperature is. It must be up near the 20s. Well, my temperature gauge says 28. It's not 28, but it must be about 20, I guess. So pretty lucky with that. But the annoying thing is this kind of resonant thing, which I did put a video about before. It's kind of hard to hear on here. Let's turn the air off and start her up, and maybe you'll hear that. And then when I get to a certain rev range, there's this kind of resonant frequency. Right there, which is pretty annoying really when you're just driving around locally. The garage that looked after it had a look at it and told me they thought it was the pump itself, which is the tandem pump. Although the AB system's fine, the steering's all fine, they said that the pump was noisy. I did have some work done on the steering last year when I had the steering rack taken off and a kit fitted. And there was a problem with some airlock or something, so maybe that caused a bit of damage to the pump, I don't know, but it all seems fine, there's no fluid problem. And but I did look at this on the Mercedes forum, and someone else said that they had a similar problem, and it was actually a hydraulic pipe touching against the body. And periodically that noise does seem to change, so I'm kind of inclined to think that it's some kind of resonance that picks up maybe at certain revs and when something's maybe just in close proximity to something else. But it's a bit annoying because, as you probably know, these cars are pretty silent. So to kind of wrap this up, none of these are major issues. It's just part and parcel of running an older car, I suppose, and a more expensive car. I mean, touch wood. It's been a great car so far. I really enjoy running it. I don't know if it's cheap or not cheap really. We had this conversation in one of my other videos about the balance of how much you spend on maintaining an older car versus the cost of a newer car. You know, if you're going to spend 20,000 on a new car, then, you know, you could spend 3,000 on one of these, 2,500, 4,000, whatever. You know, you've still got a massive chunk of change to run it, and the enjoyment of having this kind of car, to me personally, outweighs some kind of newer average tin box thing. So anyway, I do plan to do a kind of a buyer's guide thing. You know, I'm not an expert on these cars, but I've owned quite a lot of Mercedes, and I used to sell these when this was a new model. So I know enough about it, I guess, probably to help someone who might be looking for one of these. God, it's getting warm in here. So if you've got any comments, or if you would like to know anything specific, I'll do my best to help. And just for now to say thanks for watching, and sorry about the kind of roughness of this video. It's a bit homemade, cheap and cheerful. Thanks all again for watching, and all the best. And if you haven't already, please subscribe if you're into this kind of stuff. Okay, cheers for now.